Bonsoir. Good evening, everyone. I see French already logged in. Hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna have a guest, Nicole, that's gonna come on and say hello here shortly. Oh, here she is. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I can see her backstage. I'm gonna add her in. Yeah, do you see Nicole? Are you getting comfortable so you can kind of aim the camera at yourself and you can kind of get wherever you want, and then I'll add you on stage. Hey Wyoming, hey French. I am finally comfortable because I was been working all day. Excuse me. All right, let's add Nicole to the stage. Here she is. Hey Nicole.
Hi, Ryan.
Good evening, good evening. So you guys might remember Nicole. She was at one of the Harvey City Council meeting, or actually the last one, I think. Yeah, because we were supposed to have one last week, but then the mayor canceled it. But we are going to have another one next Monday, the 22nd. And Nicole spoke for public comment, and I think you talked about real estate. But yeah, do you want to just introduce yourself, and then tell everybody about, just in case, because maybe not everyone may not have seen that city council meeting.
Yeah, so hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Gooden. I'm originally from Harvey. I have lived all around the Chicagoland area from Burnside, Chatham, Maywood, Inglewood, and Naperville. Um, I'm returning home because I intend on running for mayor. I have a couple of events coming up. One is in Midlothian at E77, and the other one is a concert with R&B, blues legends, and a host of local artists. That will be on November 30th. However, me and Ryan both are in real estate, and we're having this powwow at the village meeting, and I'm listening to them describe, I don't even know what to call it, but let's just say fake news or misinformation. So I just couldn't take it. So I just had to speak what I know to be true. First of all, our tax sale is pushed out to 2026. There's no scavenger sale for 2025. So when they speak of the debt that we are in, as far as Harvey is considered, they are sitting on plenty of revenue. They have over 300 properties that are vacant, abandoned. The weeds are growing over the houses. I was actually looking at them today. Sometimes you can't even see the house behind it. That's how bad it is. So,
Hmm.
and for some reason, um, I don't want to say they speak to you like you're not educated, right? So some people don't have the wherewithal to find out or know what the truth is, but when you don't pay your taxes, it's not the city's issue to take your home. The county will take your home. You have 2 years to redeem your taxes. If you do not redeem your taxes, it will be sold in the scavenger sale every year. And after 2 years, you can kiss it goodbye. And if you do decide to redeem your taxes, uh, I think it's like 18% the last time I checked. I haven't looked or been down there in a long time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you have to pay interest too.
Yes. So a lot of investors make a lot of money buying people taxes. So if you save your house, fine. If you don't. But I actually, funny story, when I was living in Maywood, me and my ex husband decided to pay on the last day. Rushed downtown to pay the $2,000. Closed the door in our faces.
Oh
So,
no.
yes, they closed the door in our faces. And I could not pay the next day. They wouldn't take the payment. They said, you have to wait till you get your next bill. 6, 7 months later, I got the bill. Guess how much it was?
Oh, I don't. I was gonna say, with the interest, it probably went up.
Oh, yeah, it went up. It was $5,000
Oh wow! Wait, for it went
just
from.
in that 6 months.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
So imagine if you don't pay your taxes for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
it's probably it's not redeemable. So essentially, the person that invested in your property will wind up owning it. So when I hear them talking about what are we going to do to the constituents don't pay their taxes, there's already a program that facilitates and takes care of that. So that's just a bunch of
Oh
BS.
yeah. Although I think it's, the mayor's, when he's talking, it's mostly the commercial properties, but I still think, actually, I don't know the exact process. Like you, I'm more familiar with residential, but it's still ultimately the county's responsibility if
Yeah.
property owners are not paying the taxes. What I think is so crazy is, that not only is the city trying to intervene, but a lot of the business owners, they rent the properties, so they don't even own them. So it's not their responsibility to pay the property taxes.
No, it's
And
not.
then if they play along with Clark's scheme, Clark and his four alder yes men, I call them, uh, then they can sign this agreement, which is basically extortion. So it's saying they have to pay the city. I think it's like 12 to 30,000 a year. I want to say it depends on whatever payment plan you work out, and the money that they pay to the city just enables them to stay open for, I guess, for that year. But the money they're paying, we don't know where it's going. It doesn't go to their tax debt, or if
Yeah,
they're a
it
renter,
doesn't.
it doesn't go to the owner's property tax debt. So it's like, that's just money. In my view, that's just money going right in the mayor's pocket, because if we don't know where it's going, that's just craziness. It's absolute craziness. I don't
That's
know
a very
how.
valid point, and I met one, but I've talked to a couple of owners, and one is paying this. I forget what he called it, but basically, let's call it the keeping business tax. And he's paying it every 6 months to stay in business, but he doesn't have a
Mhm.
business license. How does that make sense? And if you can pay, and even if you're going to do it
Right.
that way, why not have some portion of that money going towards their taxes, right?
Right, exactly.
If I'm paying you 20 grand a year and I owe 100, and my taxes aren't going down, but I'm paying 20 grand a year, it makes no sense because essentially I'm going to always be behind. And the longer they keep these taxes outstanding, the debt is getting astronomical. So it doesn't make any
Mhm.
sense. But
Right. It's not
you,
helping anybody, right? It's
no,
not
it's not.
helping.
And I could see if they said, well, we took this money and we built this, but I don't see that. And then I talked to the state rep a few weeks ago about my political ambitions, right? So we had a meeting, and I understand what he told me, but I didn't agree. So I don't know if they had this yet, but it's either coming up or it just passed. So we were supposed to have 6 community hubs in each ward. And he
Mhm.
explained to me that they raised over $1 million, and these hubs were supposed to be like places that kids could go or whatever the case may be, but each ward was supposed to have one. So I was like, oh, he said he contributed as the state rep. I think NICOR contributed, and I forget who else he said. So you raised all of this money, but how many hubs do you know that are opening out of the 6?
Yeah, I want to say they completed 3 of the 6, and
No, 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 no. You're wrong. One, and it's either having a grand opening soon, or they are they've already done it. Only one out of 6 out of $1 million. So I asked, I said, so that's what that was supposed to be across the street from Wooden Keg? And he indicated yes. And I said, well, what happened? That was a bad contractor. Okay, so it's being a bad contractor. Since when do you just let bad contractors off the hook? You're the government, right? So if you come to my house and I pay you $100,000 and you don't do the work and you just go away,
mhm.
who allows that? There should be a lawsuit. There should be a bunch of different things that happens to this person. They clearly shouldn't have a license. They shouldn't be
Right.
able to practice or do any work because they had to be licensed to get this job with the state or the county or with the
Mhm.
village. So you have this license. So you mean to tell me that this person just ran off with how many thousands of dollars and you all not up in an uproar about it? Like, explain that to me. And I asked, I said, well, I'm not here to down or discuss what the administration is not doing, but I did offer my hand to help, and that was overlooked, right? So
Mm.
that just made me say, okay, fine, then I can do it myself.
Right. Oh yeah. Did you for those that didn't hear, share your experience about you were looking into getting some of the properties that the city is selling,
Correct.
and what, like, how did that, oh wait, I can't see you, it got dark.
Oh, yeah.
You should turn, why don't you turn a light on so that we can see your face, because you must have a TV on or something, because sometimes I see your face but then it gets dark.
Yes, my TV. Okay. These older apartments don't necessarily have the best lighting. Okay, so yes, I did do.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's, now we can see you.
It's almost bedtime, but
Oh, I see, it's the TV going up and down. Okay, but that's
yeah,
a
the
little better.
TV gets better, so it's limited lighting. Um,
But what, yeah, so what happened? You tried to get property from the city, and how was it?
so I inquired about two properties in the 144th and Halsted area, but preferably for me, I wanted to be on the west side of Halsted because that's where I grew up. So I inquired about a property on 145th and Sangamon and a property on 146th in Peoria. That's on this list. This list, they have actually two lists, but it's over 300 properties. Some are commercial, some are residential. So I got the list, and then there's a couple of things I want to explain. You cannot access this list from the phone. That's one. You have to be on your laptop to get to this list. Or
Yes.
you might be able or lucky enough to get someone to print it out for you at the village. Okay. So then they explain to you on the website, fill out the I forget what it's called, but basically your interest and what you want to do with the property. If you want to live in it, if it's a vacant lot, how much you're offering, proof of funds, all of this stuff. And you submit that information to them via email and you wait for a response. So after a couple weeks, I left and went to the Cincinnati Fest and came back. I still didn't hear anything. I'm like, what's going on? So I reached out to a couple people. They got me in touch with Caesar, who is no longer working for Harvey, but that's another story. So I go in, I meet with Caesar, and I'm talking to him about the situation. He said, okay, fine. He said, but have you paid your $25 yet? What $25? I said, it's not indicated on the website, so how am I supposed to know that you're supposed to pay $25? So I
Oh,
paid $25 for the two houses to get the information. And then I did the FOIA request to get the violation list. So I wait a couple weeks, I come back and I check again. Oh, we don't have any information yet. What? You don't have any information? So I'm like, you mean to tell me I did a FOIA request? Normally, an inspection is like right there and waiting in most villages that I have been in, right? I go to Maywood, I'm checking out this property. They hand me the inspection report immediately or email it to me, or some of us put it on the MLS for other agents just to access it easily. So they told me they hadn't did an inspection on these properties in years. So I was like, oh, so you all just now decided to tell me this? Like, okay, fine.
right.
Then this was a waste of time, but okay, I'll go with it. So I'm talking to him and he said, well, it's going to take a while. I said, well, how long does it take? What does the whole process look like? He told me, well, if we have actual access of the property, then it'll take 3 to 6 months. I'm thinking this is going to be faster than buying on the MLS for me, right? And then he said, if we don't have access to the property, then it's 6 to 9 months. How?
That's
When
how
you're
long
doing
it would, that's
everything,
how long it would take them to sell it to you?
yes, on a quick claim deed.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's a long time. That seems way longer than it needs to be.
on a quick claim deed. Like, or maybe you're getting a judicial deed or a tax deed, but it doesn't take that long to do a deed, right? You pay the money and they hand you a deed. Okay, fine. So that's not the case. So I'm like, okay. I gave him some more time. I came back maybe a few weeks ago, whenever that last village meeting was. I think I spoke to him, or I actually complained to somebody in HR. I was talking about something else. I was talking about a job. But instead of her answering the questions about the job, she went upstairs to tell Caesar what I said. So then Caesar called me up and I went to meet with him. And then he basically told me all the properties that I was looking at was not available. So I waited 3, 4 months just to find out that these properties weren't available anymore. And then he got fired a couple days later.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. And I'm glad that you shared that with me, because I did not know that Caesar was let go. So he was the economic and development coordinator. And so who's the new? You said it was the person who had been doing the debt collection.
I
They
thought
moved
so. I
him.
went in today. He told me that's not the case. He said the mayor is actually doing it now.
Okay, so as far as we know, according to what Nicole said today, we don't have an
Don't quote
economic.
me now. Don't quote me. This is just information that I was given and I'm passing it on. But
Right,
yes,
right.
I did
Yeah,
speak
because
to
I
the
was gonna say I
secretary.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. The city's posted anything officially.
No,
So I
nothing officially. So I guess in the interim, the mayor is actually doing the work. However, I've given my information to his secretary 2 or 3 times, and it was today. And I wanted, so either I said, either just refund me the $50 or let me apply this to 2 other properties. I just really want to buy a property, right? I don't understand why. I'm not trying to move into Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, right? I'm not trying to get pre-approved for $1 million property. I'm trying to move back home to Harvey. Why is it so complicated to get back to Harvey? That's crazy. When you are in dire need of revenue, you're killing the economy by making it so difficult for people to buy. Real estate is like the number
I
one investment. Donald Trump loves it. I love it. I mean,
absolutely.
real estate is probably the easiest way for people to get rich. Now, sometimes do we mess it up? Yes, we do. But real estate is the go to. If you have your last $50,000, invest, right? I instead of fighting with my ex-husband over the house in Naperville, I helped him spend his money and he bought a house not too far from Chicago State. He bought it for $40,000, right? It's worth
Oh,
at least
yo,
200 now. It's worth 200 now.
nice.
So, and that was a little bit after COVID. So, just investing in Harvey or any other location, yeah, you don't. Harvey doesn't have the best amenities and the best look right now, but once I get in office, we'll be okay. But um, those things can be fixed, right? And
Right.
listening to him say what he said last meeting, um, he said people always ask why aren't we like Orland, or we can be like Orland. We could be better than Orland. We could be anything you want it to us to be, but you have to invest. You have to build. You have to give the community resources and give the kids someplace to go. I used to have a ball. I was at Thornton a couple weeks ago. They don't have gym jams anymore. You know, it's like a lockdown facility. The doors used to be open. We used to walk through the tunnel to go to the gym. I'm also playing in the basketball game that's coming up. My brother talked me into doing the alumni game.
Oh, good for you. That's
No, 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 no. I have not played in over 30 years. But
But it'll
um
be fun. It'll be a fun. Oh, by the way, I wanted to catch up a little bit on a few comments because Wyoming gal said, "Oh, thanks, Crook. Yeah, I like that layout. Crook County's here. He's usually my mod, so thank you, Crook." Wyoming gal said, "Quick claim is fast and easy. I've done a few. Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be difficult. Status quo says, been listening. Nicole is delightful and intelligent. That's very nice status.
Thank you.
Beth said Harvey's corrupt. Hey, oh, critical smokers here. Hey, critical. But yeah, it's no, I'm glad you shared. I was pulling up the website. I was trying to find the list to see. Oh Lord, you remember?
The
Trying to
list of the
remember where
property.
you go to find.
Oh, you put city
Yeah, I'm on the
property in
city.
the search engine at the top where the searching button is.
Is it how?
And yeah, city properties. I have the list in my email. I forward it to people because at first I was so excited. I'm telling my investors, I'm like, oh my God, you can buy Harvey,
Yes,
you can do
right.
this. And then that just went away. I just stopped talking to them about it because it's like, oh, that's a dream. And one of my clients wants to buy on his vacant lot. I mean, build on his vacant lot. I don't even want to introduce him to or even try. I'm just like, okay, whatever. And that's
And isn't
sad.
that? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that tragic? Because I totally feel the same way, and when I talk to people about Harvey, whether it's clients or investors or whatever, but they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Like we love your energy, Brian. We see, maybe we'll give Harvey another look. Like there's some good deal. Prices aren't bad. Blah 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 blah." And then I love saving old buildings, and fixing them up and restoring them. So I'm like, yeah, and I can consult. I can help you, to save your wood floors. I can tell you how to repair your wood windows, all this other stuff. But then you get like the roadblock with the city, and it's so frustrating.
It's very frustrating. And here's the other kicker. So Chicago has empowerment zones, right? So since I've left, and I graduated in 1996, but the biggest issue that I see for communities that are majority black, and from the time that I've lived in all these other surrounding areas, we leave and we don't come back,
Hmm.
right? So just imagine the kids that live here in Naperville, not everybody comes back. That's not the point. But majority or some come back, right? Or people
Hmm.
come back with a good intention. Where are the nurses? We have nurses that graduated. Where are our doctors or lawyers and stuff like that? We go to Bronzeville, we go up north, we go to Naperville, we go out of state. We move and we never come back. Even
Hmm.
our athletes, we have Thornton has several athletes, right? But also when you have a corrupt, or let's not call it corrupt. Let's just say that it's known for corruption, right? That's a nicer way
Hmm.
of saying it's known for corruption. So now, if I'm an NBA or NFL star, do I really want to give you all some money to do the right thing? You know, Thornton's field house is done over, or the football field. It looks really nice. They finally got turf, but everybody's been playing on turf. My kid came into freshman year at Naperville North, and they were playing on turf, and that was like 13 years ago. So,
Hmm.
and what really hurt me one day, my son was, I think he was a freshman, and the kids and the parents were a little bit scared about going to Harvey. It kind of pissed me
Oh.
off, to be awesome. But I had to explain to them. I said, they're there to play football. They're not there to do anything to you. I said, you might hear things, and I even tell these people about that about Chicago.
Hmm.
O Block, this, that, and other. They want to know about all of these negative things they hear. But Chicago is really not bad, right? There's incidents that happen, but Chicago has so much uplifting, fun things that happen. It outweighs the bad, but the news says we need, it's Chirac. Or we make movies about different little negative things, but it's not that bad. Now, Harvey looks totally different from what I grew up in. But at the same time, they could be more welcoming to people that want to invest and come back home and, you know, build businesses and do different things. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have tried to do something positive but got shut down. And
Hmm.
that's just more revenue that we're losing. So make it make sense. If I don't let you in, I can't make any money in my business. So
Hmm.
what's the point of being open? You have a whole entire village what Harvey should be maybe around a population of 20,000, if
Right.
it's that now.
Yeah, it's like a little less than 20,000. It should be way more than that. We're very deep depopulated, but yes, you're right.
But exactly. So if people were allowed to invest and buy, so if an investor comes along and buys, and then he turns around and sell it, hopefully the homeowner lives there for a long time. And who can beat having a house for $50,000?
Right, exactly.
I'm actually fighting
Totally
for a
agree.
house right now in Harvey. So yes, I actually understand, like, but at the same time, I was always taught to buy the worst things in the best neighborhoods, right?
Mm-mm. Right,
And
right,
and Harvey is still a good area, and I'll tell you why. Second, we're around all the highways. It's a
right,
traveling guru, right? You could be on 80 in a second. You could be on 294. You could be on the Bishop 4. You could be on 57. You could go anywhere from Sibley Boulevard, wherever you wanted to go. You could be in Oak Brook in 20, 30 minutes. You could be in Joliet. You could be downtown. It's a lot of other places that have to travel 15, 20 minutes to get to the expressway. That's horrible.
mm-hmm.
So you're right where people can be access the highways at any given point in time, and you have all of this land that's just basically being, I mean, nothing's happening. It's just sitting, right? Dixie Highway should be beautiful. It should be
Right.
businesses up and down this highway. Luckily, we haven't, well, not luckily, but the Dixie Market on Sibley has been there for quite a while when I was in high school. But we haven't had an actual grocery store since Fairplay closed, and that was in the 1990s. Who stays in office and doesn't put a grocery store or try to even get one?
Right, right. No, I agree. I
Like,
totally agree.
we need groceries. I don't want to go to Dalton. I don't want to go to Riverdale. I don't want to go to Posen. I don't want to go to Midlothian. I don't want to go to Orland. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to be in Orland, though. I'm going to stay in Orland.
Mhm.
But,
Right.
I mean, and then when I think of stuff like, where do you go eat? There's a couple of places that you can go eat. But where can you just go eat? Where
Mm-hmm.
can you go have a business meeting? McDonald's, yes, McDonald's is. I love McDonald's. McDonald's has been there. McDonald's has not moved. It has. His neighbors have changed several times, but McDonald's has been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right across the street from Brooks Junior High. But
Oh, the one by I know, yeah, the one in Dalton, but
right,
it's like right by the Harvey border. Yeah,
yeah,
so
it's on the
say there's
border.
also the McDonald's by Posen.
Yeah, the one on Dixie Highway. So that's the newer one, but the one that I grew up and go to, that was always been right there on that Dalton Harvey border.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and my father used to live over there. He was right behind. I think is it Markham Drive. Markham Drive. Those houses are
Mm.
gorgeous back there.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
right, yeah, yep. And you can
It looks like
you,
South Holland.
yeah, you can have riverfront property. A lot of people don't know that, but we have Little Calumet River goes through our northern border, so there are a few several blocks where you can actually own a house on the river, and you're right. There's like I'm glad you feel that way. I agree as far as being positive about areas like Harvey that need work and seeing the potential because the news their job is to sell and to get people riled up. So it's always about trying to make people scared and afraid. And, um, we shouldn't live our lives that way because then you never talk to anybody.
Or you'll never do anything, or you'll never go. And that's just crazy because, like, I love to travel, so I try to go somewhere all the time. I kind of slowed down since I'm trying to move to Harvey and run for mayor and do all of these things, but every place can be rebuilt. There's no place that can't be rebuilt. So to have
Right.
someone in office say that, that's hurtful, right? Because that's a slap in the face to those people that stayed and paid their taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Because my money should go just as far as their money. Their money's no different. All of our money's green. Right? The
Mm-hmm.
$2,000 that I pay for taxes on this property should go just as far as it does in Harvey. But here's the other issue that I also noticed from living in different areas. Schools.
Mm-hmm.
Schools in predominantly black areas have way less activities, right? So Thornton may have basketball. We have the bases: basketball, baseball, sports, and there might be a couple of other things that you can do. But when I put my kids in the Naperville School District, and I looked at some other schools from Proviso West and East as well, the list was
Mm.
like this long. The other schools, Crete and Harvey and Dalton, and the list was like this long. That's a big difference. So they had everything from chess, checkers, bowling, swimming, badminton. I mean, you name it, whatever your heart desired, you want to write in the newspaper. That
Mm.
is what invokes intelligence. That's what invokes finding out what you are good at, right? So everybody's not going to be an athlete. Everybody's not going to be a super uh, brainiac, and they're not going to have honors classes and go be a physicist. So you have to find out what you're good at. Maybe you're good at fixing things, or maybe you're good at writing, or maybe you're good at poetry, glee club, band. Like, there's a bunch of different things that they offer these students that are not.
Mm.
Now, it has something to do with taxes as well. They pay more money, and they're a bigger community, but they're still smaller suburbs that put their tax dollars to good use. And my
Mm-hmm.
friend in Maywood, I think he's in his second term, and Maywood is doing great things. I see new construction all over the place. He's fixing the
Hmm.
streets. I mean, and I
Yeah.
ran there in 2013. I
Oh,
ran
okay.
there. Yeah, I ran there in 2013. And at that particular time, Henderson Yarbrough was the mayor, and his wife was a powerhouse. Karen Yarbrough, the recorder.
Oh, that was Karen's husband. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
So they had Maywood on lock. But
Wow.
yes. But I was they did and they didn't like me. They was like, "You're not a Maywoodian." So I married into Maywood, but I became such a force to be reckoned with. They offered me the trustee position to get out the race. So Harvey doesn't know what they got coming. I am definitely
Oh,
not
okay.
I'm definitely not the person that most people think. So I can't
Mm.
wait till I move in and decorate my house. I can't wait to get into the community and do all of the things that I need to do.
Oh.
I love fixing stuff.
And I encourage people.
To
Yeah.
come to
Oh, I'm
Harvey,
sorry. I was
move
just saying I
to
encourage
Harvey.
people. That's yes. Then we're gonna get to that's what French Wrench was asking you, but also as far as the elections, because I know right away some people are going to ask, and they're going to say, "But Nicole, why do you want to run for mayor?" So many people love and support Colby, and what's unique about our elections now that we have now that we didn't have when Eric Kellogg was doing his 4 terms is, and I'll credit Mazurk Irvin as well as some other people that did the hard work of passing this referendum. But we have primaries, so I think it's great. Like I'm encouraging as many people that want to run for any city position in 2027 to run, because if we have at least 4 people running for a position, it will trigger the primary. So because what used to happen under Eric Kellogg, for instance, he did this a lot. I mean, a lot of politicians will do it, but they would split the vote. So before we had a primary, if it was the mayoral race, for instance, they would make sure that, let's say, 9 people ran, so that it split the vote, and then the incumbent would get back in. But now that we have this primary system, I truly believe like it could be as many people for every position that want to run, because the top two will go. The top 2 from the primary in February will go on to the general election in
April. April.
April, right?
Mm.
So it's different. A lot of towns do not have that. So I just want to say that because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be you know wondering about who's running, and then like I
I'm the
said,
only candidate that matters.
well, you preach yourself, girl. We're gonna be now that more and more people are you know, we're getting closer to 2027. I'm expecting a lot more people to announce. Since
Oh,
Colby, she's gonna be running for mayor, so I said I will run for second ward alderman because that's her currency, and then I'm sure. Let's see. I know there's one, Azucena Gutierrez. She announced she's running for third ward alderman. But anyway, so I'm expecting we'll get some more announcements. Let's get to
well,
French's question.
you
Hold
want me
on.
to answer that question?
Yeah. Oh, about why Harvey? That
Well,
one.
yeah, what you said about Kobe and why I'm running.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Do that first, and then we'll go to French's question. Yep.
I get that a lot. Um, it has nothing to do with Kobe, right? So I explain to a lot of people that oftentimes in our areas of underserved areas, we oftentimes vote for loyalty or friendship, right? Oh, I want people to vote for me, right? But I don't want them to vote for me because they think that I'm cute or they know me when I was in high school. I don't want them to vote for me. I want them to vote for me because they know that I'm the best candidate. They know that it's strictly from the heart. Most politicians start out and they might really feel it and have it in their heart to change. And I could tell Kobe has a heart for it, but I don't think that she has the experience yet. But that's not for me to judge. That's just for me to do what I'm supposed to do. I don't care about the incumbent. I don't care about the aldermen. I don't care about any of that. I do everything that I do in life from the heart, right? I give, I try to help those, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it's about the community. So I'm about action. I don't want to argue or have a heated debate about what this person isn't doing or what that person is doing. Like, it's really messy, the whole village meeting. I have never, I mean, I didn't like the village meetings in Maywood, but the Harvey ones make this look like it's like
Oh,
a
there's a lot of dysfunction, right? Did you know that
right.
the Mayor Clark has had he's ticketed people for making, you know, noises that he didn't like in the meetings. He had me arrested just because I was filming. He's had Colby arrested 4 times, and all she does is ask questions about, you know, where the money's going, you know, how decisions are being made. So it is pretty wild.
Now, I'm glad you said that because that brings a point, right? So, I've been to a couple of meetings. I've seen. At first, I just watched because I wanted to see who the players were and what they had to say. So, I feel like from what I've seen, it seems as though she may try to antagonize. She's just asking questions to prove a point, right? Like if I know that you're messing up, or I just want to embarrass you, so I'm gonna ask a question, or I'm just wanting you to verify and be upfront. But here's my issue with that. Let's address the problem with a solution. Because me talking to someone and going back and forth with them and telling them how basically, if I kind of insinuate you're stealing, will you really want to answer my questions? Will you want to be forthright and tell me the truth? Even if you aren't doing anything wrong, it puts you on the defensive, right? So I think that whole batter, like he doesn't want to answer her questions, he wants to be dismissive. That's just the whole song and dance. How about y'all shut up and just fix it? How about that? Whatever's the problem, just fix it. It
Mm.
shouldn't be about all of this other stuff. That's not what we're here for. Like telling people to go talk to Preckwinkle about the tax money, that's not their job. For you even to say that is offensive because Tony Preckwinkle will probably look at you like, what? Harvey, what? Tax money? Like, that's just
Mm.
crazy just to even say it. Go talk to Tony. Who says that? You know, it's a thing that you have in your control. You have so much control. And if you have four trustees with you, your agenda should be pushed. You see how it's going with Trump. So if you have the power to push your agenda, there's
Mm,
no reason why Harvey should look the way it does. And I don't want to hear about the fact that the last administration did this or how much we're in deficit. You could really reduce the deficit if you got off your ass and did something. Like, it's just that simple. It's not
mm,
hard. If you sold all those properties, Harvey would be in a much better shape. And I
absolutely.
think there's enough investors around here and people that just want to buy and have their own. You know, what about the people that work at McDonald's or the people that make $20,000 to $30,000? They can come to Harvey.
Mm, right. No, no, I totally agree. To be fair though, for Colby, well, and for me too, she, for all the flack that she's gotten, I mean, I think
I'm
she's
not
been
giving her
extremely
flack at all. I like the things that she's
oh,
doing. Whatever.
not
I'm
from
not.
you. I mean from the
Oh
mayor over
yeah.
here. I think she's actually really patient with him, and I think she tries to be really professional. Like I'm always very oh, Crook, is that you? Okay. I'm always very impressed that like how patient she is because he's so rude. And and as my older woman, I'm so glad that she's asking questions about the
But
different
what is it
programs, the
accomplishing?
ordinances. So he's just like it's hard because he's been treating people like this for years.
But
So
that's my point, Ryan. What is it accomplishing? Questioning that man before the village is nothing. What is it accomplishing? What are they getting done? They just have a showdown every other Monday. For what? Like, here, okay, so I heard this lady, and she's on the board for the library. And I heard that Harvey doesn't have any liability insurance. I've been sick for a long time.
oh,
But
for the public, the Harvey Library doesn't.
well, no, I heard that they don't have liability insurance at
Oh,
all. Period. So when that storm happened, a tree fell on a resident's house, and the tree was there for like 4 or 5 days.
mm,
I went and I was at a client's house helping her with some legal issues and deeds and stuff, and she just didn't know what to do. She didn't have any insurance, so I tried to help. I called comment because it was on the line a little bit, but I was just trying to push it to see if they would come and remove it. The neighbors came and did it, and they removed the tree from her house.
oh,
If that's what you have to do and considerably put boots on the ground to do it yourself, then that's what needs to be done.
mm-hmm,
If they don't do it, why wait for somebody to come save you?
right, right.
Save it yourself. There's no need. If you know that the village doesn't have the money to do it, and she indicated that they were boarding up houses themselves back in the day.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because people have done that. The problem with that, because that happened in 2019, 2020, there was a group of people doing it, but the mayor was actively harassing them. So it's crazy because it's like, okay, if you're in office and you don't want to do anything, that's one thing. Because I know a lot of people in Chicago where their aldermen are kind of like that. Like maybe they're not very attentive. But what makes Clark different, which drives me nuts, is that he will actively, like, you want to volunteer and help people, he'll come after you and like try to ticket you or arrest you, and you're just trying to help, and you're like, hey, could you just kind of let me help out? Because if you don't want to help, that's fine, but let. So it's really he's a tough one to work with. I mean, because I don't know what you do in that case, but I
But you
totally
don't
agree with
need
what
his
you're saying.
permission to go clean up your neighborhood.
No, I totally agree. But do you know this is how far he went? So there was this group of people a few years ago with Chappelle. She talked about in public comments. So they were boarding up houses, doing
Mhm.
cleanup, all this other stuff. So the mayor kept trying to harass them to shut them down, and he pushed through an ordinance that said if you board up a house, because they were pushing back and saying, no, 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 we can do this. Like, just leave us alone, Mr. Mayor. Stop trying to ticket us or whatever. So Clark pushed through an ordinance, or a resolution that said if you board up a house, you have to paint the board up wood, to match the color of the siding. So
Okay.
basically making it too expensive, for them, because he just wanted to do anything he could to stop these people from doing good. So that's tough. Like, what do you do when you have leaders like that? Or what do you think we could be doing differently, since it's been a few years where the same
I
stuff is
had to
happening?
find my charger. I say paint the wood. If that's what makes it legal, I will paint your wood. If that's the case, I'll go to Home Depot and Menards and get see if they would donate. They have oops paint.
Hmm.
You have oops paint you can get for a couple bucks. The paint that they mess up, I'm sure it will match some. It's so many abandoned properties. It's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's crazy to me because some blocks are gorgeous and
Hmm.
some blocks look like Russia hit the whole block. Like it just looks
Mm.
crazy and glass on the streets. But that's unsafe, right? It's unsafe for kids because it's somewhere that they think that they can go play and hide in when it's
Hmm.
actually, I forget what they call it, but it's basically an attractive nuisance. It's unsafe. That's illegal. It's a tort. But um, anything that lures kids that isn't safe, right? So it's a bunch of abandoned properties around there. I'm thinking if I was 10 or 12 years old or 8 and we're outside playing hide and go seek, I might go run and hide in this abandoned property and I might get myself hurt or killed,
Hmm.
right? So to have that many properties around with this many kids in the area, it's just a disservice to people that live there. You're not even going to
Mm.
make them safe, make
Right.
their children safe. Like I don't understand. It's annoying. I don't even like going to the meetings anymore. I don't know if I'm gonna go. I think that I'll just do what I have to do. I may come to them occasionally, but my head is like banging during
Mm.
the whole thing. So no, I definitely understand. I'm sure people want to see the people that are there want to see, and I have a lot of family in Harvey, right?
Mm.
So a lot of people probably know my cousin, the older generation, Curtis Watkins. He was like a big athlete. He also went to DePaul, and
Okay. Yeah, the name
I
sounds
think
familiar.
Kellogg named the street after him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was a
Oh,
great tribute.
wait, before we forget, I do want to address French's question, because he had said basically, like, why should why should someone choose Harvey? Like, if he wanted to, he said, si j'aurais le goût d'acheter plusieurs maisons pour les rénover, ça prend les clients. So if he wanted to, like, buy houses or open a business or whatever, sell Harvey to him.
Okay, well, I'm gonna act like I'm the administration at this point, but there's a lot of opportunities in Harvey. Um, right now, on the business side and the real estate side. And anywhere someone can invest and make money is a great opportunity, right? So at the end of the day, if you have a business, they should give you some type of grant. Um, there should be incentives to bring your business to my community. And then in that in turn, I've seen, they brought Whole Foods to Inglewood, but they only stayed for the time of the TIF money and the grant money.
Mm.
However, they should have known better. If I'm gonna give you 5 years, you have to stay 10, right? You get five of the tax grant money, and then you deal with the next 5 years. At least you have committed and invested. You got a huge break and you made all of that money, but you have to owe it to the community. It's the community that brings businesses or keeps businesses. You can't be in business if nobody's coming in. You won't last. Whole Foods has the capacity to be anywhere. They could go anywhere and make money, but what I didn't like what they did,
Mm.
it wasn't of the caliber of the one downtown or the one in Naperville. It was small. I made sure I went in there. It was small. It was nice, but it wasn't as good as the other ones. And then
Okay.
that's, you know what I mean? So that's what I hate. So if you come to Harvey and you bring your business, whether it's a grocery store or whatever, make sure it looks like it would look anywhere else. Don't give me subpar groceries. Don't give me subpar design. Give me the same design you put everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And people will come, right? So it's a lot to, and then if you want to go in business in Chicago, I mean, that's a great idea. There's a great, there's a lot more people. But there's a lot of people that commute from the suburbs to the city. So Sibley Boulevard is a huge transit from east to west.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's put on Sibley Boulevard probably.
Oh, did we lose you? Hello, hello. Okay, we might have lost her for a second. I'll give her a second to come back. While Nicole's coming back, let me catch up on any comments here. Crook says vote them out of office. That's always works, right? Uh, there she is. Okay, she's back.
Can you
Oh,
hear me? Oh, maybe that was because someone called me. I probably should put my phone on do not disturb.
oh, okay. Yeah, now
I
we
was like,
see
I
you.
can't. I see your mouth moving, but there's a lot of opportunity. Just come on to Harvey, even though I'm not in office. Still come to Harvey. Try to get what you can. I mean, maybe they'll figure out that they really need to let these investors and buyers in and make it easier for people instead of making it hard.
Right. So you think you one of your things you would recommend you're saying is just for the private citizen just to go out and do stuff anyway, like the cleanup that Colby hosted, or Colby, I think, brought them because she had done one of their events. It was this church. They came and I helped out a little bit as well. I went to it. I haven't posted my videos yet, but it was on Sunday and it was really great. So this church, they bring a huge group of volunteers. They're very organized, and we did a cleanup. Now I would love to see more stuff like that. But what was really cool about that is because I feel like a lot of times in Harvey, yes, we have people with resources, but we also have a lot of people that are struggling, just to make ends meet. So it was great to see people come from outside of Harvey and help, and not like they're not coming just to take, they're
Mm.
coming to actually help out.
I noticed that at the city event, they had the back to school. There were people that were missionary, and they were here just to
Oh,
help, stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of groups that volunteer and help. It's
yeah.
just about inquiring and getting it done. And then, I mean,
Mhm.
the people had the resources to remove this tree, and I'll send you a picture of the tree. Was huge.
That was nice of them. I
The
mean,
tree was huge.
I get people's frustration because that's why I speak out, is because it's like, okay, we can try to do it ourselves, but then why do we pay so many, such a high tax bill? I think that's what gets me and a lot of people frustrated. It's like, okay, if we're paying this, we should be getting the services that we're paying for. But I also
Not
get,
really.
well, but you don't think
Because you
we
don't
should?
have any business revenue. You know all of the businesses are gone. So when you don't have any businesses in your suburb, that burden is carried by the residents. And then if
Oh,
you have
right.
residents
That's one of
leaving,
the reasons why our taxes are so high. Well, and
right?
also when you see things like when the mayor says, "Oh, we can't afford to do this because we're broke," and then um, paying $30,000 dollars to have a gospel music a gospel concert, paying to they put on an event Saturday. They I didn't go, but it was like a classic car show. So it's like, oh wait, it seems like the city does have the money when it's something the mayor wants to do, but when it's something that people are asking, like, hey, could you fix this pothole? Oh, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke. Oh, but by the way, come to this $30,000 gospel concert that no one asked me to put on, but I'm going to use your money to do it. And then he says in the meetings, no, 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 it's not tax money. We have donors. And we're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, could you just release the information? Show us the donors, show us, like who paid what, but then they won't do it. So it's like, now
Well,
wait, how do you have
any
money when you want to do
donations,
it?
any donations are supposed to be reported. I don't know who they're donating to, but donations are supposed to be reported.
That's why it's so
Second,
strange. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Higher
secondly,
Ground. Higher Ground says we in the chat salutes, Ryan. Thank you. Alicia says, what real estate company are you two with? I'm with Infinity Properties. It's a local, locally owned company. But what's your what company are you with?
I'm with Villa Homes.
Villa Homes? Okay. Is that like a locally owned one as well?
I don't think so because they're in different states.
Are they?
I've been with them
Okay.
for the last 4 or 5 years. Before then, I was with Caldwell Banker, but they have a location in just about several states: Georgia,
Ah.
South Carolina. They're everywhere.
And Javar says, Ryan, it's been like a month since y'all had a Harvey meeting. What's going on? So, Javar, good question. The mayor, I don't know why he canceled the last one because we are a city in crisis. I mean, it would be good to have meetings and do business, but I don't know. French says, to have a food business doing well, you need other fields. Oh, yeah, like other kinds of businesses. Right, exactly. Around. So that, yeah. Clark Barbecues. Oh, you mean Clark Barbecue? Oh, I think I know what you're saying, French. Yeah, that like it's like we saw in Dalton or the township where it's like when the board wants to spend money, they spend
Oh,
it and they don't ask questions. So like that's how what Clark and his people do. But when you ask for something, then they're like, "Oh, we're broke. Sorry." And so you're like, "Wait, but you just did this thing. And what about your 24-hour security detail you have and your brand new SUV city SUV that you drive around and all this other stuff?" But they don't like that. Shh, you're not supposed to ask about that.
well, calling them out is not going to help. So I think it's just a waste of time. However, you said something about they're having another gospel concert on October 13th as well. Um, but what is hilarious to me about this situation, I emailed the lady that was over the gospel concert, and I have a lot of friends in different areas. So I asked, did she want to add anybody to it? Could I help? All of this different information. I asked her, could I assist? I never heard back. That's
Hmm.
been 2, 3 months ago. And
Oh, okay.
the other offensive thing about this is I probably have it over there. Have you seen the flyer for the festival? I mean, for the gospel concert?
I think so. I think I did. I think I have.
So let me, I wish I had brought it over here, but it's basically a piece of paper. I think John P. Key is going to be there. There's no photo of him, there's no list of his music. It's just a donor. You scan a barcode and it goes straight to what the donors can give. 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 15. Like,
Oh.
what type of promotion is this? Like, I feel like that's an insult. Because as much as
Mm.
people promote, if you go on Ticketmaster, if you go on Ticket Stub, whatever you go, if you go on a city winery, they're not just going to tell you, or pass out a piece of paper. They don't even. I think his name might be on the flyer. It may not. I don't even think his name is on the flyer. But if it is, that's all, and it goes straight to asking for money. What type of marketing is this? Like,
Mm.
do the people even know that it's coming up? Do the people even care that it's coming up? Like, who knows that this gospel concert is happening? Are you advertising it on the radio? What are you doing to let the
Mm.
constituents know we're having this event? That's
Right.
problematic. Like the Maywood Fest, they brought in Ron Isley, Tank, Tyrese. I was in love. But it was such a great event, right? Why do people that live in Harvey, Riverdale, Down, why do we have to go to Lollapalooza or Red Fest or Chicago? But I've noticed this year, even Inglewood had a fest. Everyone in their community should have something for their people. You shouldn't always have to go 20 miles, 50 miles. You shouldn't have to go to Rosemont to see somebody all the time. You
Mm.
should be able to go in your own community and see these artists or whoever in your local neighborhood.
I wonder how Maywood's budget is, though. I wonder if are they more transparent as far as how they're spending their money?
I'm sure everything they do is more transparent than Harvey. They have a great mayor, right? So, but nothing's perfect, right? They have their qualms. It wasn't a perfect concert, but it was a great event because no one got hurt. There was no issues. It was safe. People had a good time.
Mm.
Love the appearances. Kiki Wyatt. Everything starts out bumpy, but everything gets greater later. But the fact that you were able to do it, so you do it this year and then you make it better the next year. And it gets better and better. I'm sure the Taste of Chicago wasn't great the first time, right?
Mm.
And then
Right.
it ended on a sour note, right? But it went on for years and it got to be this big festival and big time promotion for Chicago where people come all across the world to come to Chicago to taste this expensive food.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rib Fest in Naperville, another great opportunity and stuff like that. So if you bring it, or shall you say, like the movie, if you build it, they will come, right?
Right.
So if you build something, people will come. If you build quality, people will definitely come. But I just
Right.
want to make sure that people understand we don't have to wait on our elected officials, especially if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You can do it. You
Yeah.
can get out there and do
That,
it.
that's definitely the case in Harvey. French says same game as Tiffany, but different players. Javar
Mm.
says Englewood had a music fest and I missed it. I'm going to need to start being out more often. I've been so much of a homebody.
I
Howard,
missed it too.
I don't know how long, but it's well, yes, Javar, you can do it. You can get out of the house.
I missed it too. I just inboxed my friend and I was like, "Where is this at?" She was like, "That was the Inglewood Fest." She told me today, 2 days later. But I was like, "Oh my god, I missed that!"
That's
And I
cool.
live there too, so I was like, "Oh my god!" And they looked like they had a ball. I don't know where they had it at. I want to say it could have been anywhere, but it looked like they had a ball. And I was like, "Damn, I missed another concert."
That's
But if
but no,
Inglewood
that
can
is
do it,
awesome.
Harvey can do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring up the I'm gonna share right.
And Inglewood
Absolutely.
had a horrible reputation as well too.
Right. No,
And look
no,
at it
I
now.
I absolutely agree.
It's definitely being gentrified and changes are being made all around it. When I first lived in Inglewood, there was no
Mhm.
banks in Inglewood. There's banks now, there's grocery stores. They've come a long way.
Right, right. I'm just looking for the for the thing about tomorrow. So tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. If you guys can tune in, They're going to have a hearing related to the Harvey Park District Board. I think it's related to the last meeting that I covered, where certain people, certain commissioners, like, weren't allowed in. Okay, I found it. I found the information. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Let me see if I can share it. Hold on one second. So that should be interesting. I'm glad that the commissioners are taking action about it. I think they hired their own lawyer or something, which is good, because we can't
What are they
always
arguing
afford
about?
stuff like that.
What is the issue?
Okay, so it says, well, here it's so Wayman, Cotton, and Lakeisha. Oh Lord, what's her last name? I'll say Brown, but maybe I'm forgetting her last name, but I forget. So it says, public notice of court hearing. We, the undersigned Park District Commissioners. Oh yeah, Lakeisha O. Brown O'Neill. We, the undersigned Park District Commissioners, believe that transparency and accountability are owed to every member of our community. Recently, Commissioner Wayman Cotton was illegally removed from the Harvey Park District Board, and Commissioner Lakeisha O. Brown O'Neill was locked out and denied access to Park District files and proper documentation. This matter is now before the courts, and we want to ensure that every resident of Harvey can see for themselves what is happening with their Park District leadership. So this is the information for tomorrow, 10 a.m., online via Zoom. There's all the meeting information. I posted it on the Harvey Historical Society Facebook page. So if anybody, if you want to get the information, it's there. Why your support matters. They said your presence, even as a viewer, is powerful. By joining this hearing, you will witness firsthand what's happening in the Park District, show support for transparency and fair representation, help ensure that community voices are not silenced. We encourage all residents to tune in. Okay, thank you for standing with us in the fight for openness and fairness in the Harvey Park District. So yeah, I definitely agree. We definitely need more openness and fairness. I was at their last meeting, and it was pretty crazy how they apparently, I laugh. It's not good, but I laugh because it's so crazy. So Wayman was elected by the voters, but for some reason, the board, which is dominated by the McCaskill family,
Okay.
but they appointed, instead, to take the Wayman who was elected. They said he wasn't a commissioner, and then they appointed Floyd Coleman, and Floyd ran, but he lost the election. So I was like, wait, what? So I don't know what's going on exactly. So that's why I think tomorrow should be interesting if people want to tune in. I do have
It
work.
sounds like another headache for me. I might try to tune in, but
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. So let's see. That's tomorrow. Then on Thursday, there is there's an Investigate the State Journalism Conference. I was going to try to, it's virtual. I'm going to try to pop into that if I can, covering,
where is that at?
journalism stuff. It's virtual. It's just online, but there's different, it's, I think the Better Government Association is hosting it. I want to say.
Okay.
There's a Cook County board meeting at 10 a.m. I have gone to those. I could again. I've spoken out in public comment for that, trying to get them to send the sheriff to investigate Harvey police, because the police are just not doing their job right. And then that evening at 6, so this Thursday at 6 o'clock, there's a community solutions meeting. That's what Mayor Clark calls it. So that's at City Hall. So I may go just to cover it. We'll see. It's not really I've gone to other ones. I don't necessarily think that the mayor actually presents a lot of solutions at the community solutions meeting, but it is
And when is that, on Friday?
that is going to be Thursday evening at 6. So Thursday at 6 at City Hall. So he did take questions last time. I just didn't feel like you. I really don't feel like didn't feel like you answered any. But anyway, so that's Friday. That's Thursday. The hearings tomorrow, and then Monday we're having our city council. Next city council meeting will be at 7. Yeah. So yeah, did you guys have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm actually not going to hang around long because I am beat because I've been up working all day. But anybody else have anything to add or to say before we head out? Thank you, Nicole, for joining us and
Thank you,
for chatting,
Ryan.
sharing, and I think actually you're the first one that's come on to talk about running for a Harvey position. So I hope more people do. I hope Colby comes on. I would say Clark could come on. He probably wouldn't want to talk to me, but whoever is going to be running, that's great. I think the more the merrier. The more we get people excited about getting involved in local politics, that's awesome. Because then hopefully more people will come out to vote and just get that positive energy going.
I don't know this is necessarily positive though, but um, I do agree about the splitting of the vote. That can be catastrophe. But for example, I think the with the election that I ran in, Edwina won with 850 votes. Only
Mm.
1,500 people came out to vote, right? In a
Right, right.
city of like 21,000. So you may be looking at 10% of the community coming.
Mm.
So hopefully people do get excited, but
Yes.
it's a long road, you know.
And
So
hopefully I want to see as many people as possible voting, getting engaged. And what I would like to see is if people are really serious about running for different positions, like I'd love to see multiple really good candidates for the aldermanic positions, mayor, clerk, treasurer. Because remember, as long as we get a minimum of 4, that will trigger the primary. And my dream would be to see for all the city races. So let's say we'd have a minimum of 4 people running for each one. It triggers the primary, and then ideally we could have the top 2 will go to the general, but to have 2 really good candidates, like wouldn't that be awesome? So that we would have a choice of 2 really good people. So it's like no matter what, we know we're going to get better than what we have now. Like that's what we want. The worst case scenario
well, it
is
depends on what they vote for, right? So it depends on if
well,
they vote for who's the best candidate or because my family's known you for 50 years.
oh, right, yes, right, or people get paid to vote or other shady things that people do too. It's crazy.
Right. So it depends on what they're voting for and why
Yeah,
they're
what
voting.
the worst case scenario would be is just, low voter turnout, voter apathy, and then just the same people running, or like last time for 2023, I didn't understand. I want to say at least 1 or 2 of the aldermanic positions there weren't even challengers. I'm like,
Well, first of all, here's the
that's
issue.
crazy. How can
Harvey
we
is
not
not
have?
Well, first of all, everybody doesn't like politics. And second of all, Harvey doesn't have the allure that it should. Like a lot of times I have clients that can't see the vision in this house, but I can see it. I can see
Hmm.
vision in any house, right? It can be
Yeah,
god awful, and I can still see how it can be better. But
I agree
everybody
with
doesn't
that.
have
Yeah,
that
I enjoyed
vision,
that.
right? So everybody doesn't have it, and they could be really, really good at organization and leading, but do you really want to be a part of this political climate in this type of area?
Yeah, a lot
You
of good.
already know you're working on a deficit. You already know you're in the red. You're coming into a really, really bad situation. But
Mm.
anything can be improved, but you have to be able to see the better in everything, right? So like I have to use real estate, but I had a client, and I'm so sleepy like you, but I had a client, and we had this email system where if you didn't want a lead that you had, you could give it up. So somebody
Mm.
gave me this lead, and nobody really wanted it at Coldwell Banker. He wanted to see a $39,000 house. And I always feel like my $1 million clients deserve service, and so do my $50,000 clients, right? Because
Mm.
it's still the same transaction. No, it's not the same money, but it's still, we all deserve service. So come to find out, he's been my client for over 10, 15 years. But he was already, I've sold several properties for him and probably made $40,000-$50,000 in 1 month, right?
Oh
But
wow.
people shun their nose at that particular time because he was buying cheap property, but he's still buying cheap property. But cheap property now is 200,000, and he's still buying it. But
Mm,
at the same time, you shun your nose at him, and I've made goo gobs of money with working with this man. So you should never turn your nose up at somebody because, or a community, because you feel like it's beneath you.
mm-hmm.
Because you could turn around, you sell your home for 50,000 to an investor, and then you can't afford to move back.
Mm, right.
So it's just, people have to think smarter and more logically about what is best for them and what's best for their longevity, and not paying for a mortgage. I'll tell you about that later, but I have a surefire way of getting rid of some of this property. But
Mm,
yeah.
good. Okay. No, no, definitely. Well, I would love to have you on again. And like I said, I'm sure more people will be, as time goes by, more people will be announcing that they're running or whatever. And I love it. I love to have the debates and the discussions. It's good. Getting people excited. So thanks for coming on.
Thank
And
you.
you have a wonderful night. Thank you, Crook, for coming to Mod. And thank you, French. Merci. Jabbar, who else is on tonight? I don't know if Wyoming's still here. Alicia, we answered her question. Higher ground, status, Beth. Beth. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, we'll
Good
talk
night.
again soon. Good night.
Bye. Good
Au
night.
revoir. Bonne nuit.